All right, beautiful people. So in this video, we are going to be working on the Nissan Titan. This truck is for my wife to haul horses. And right now we're looking at a 5-year plan. So the idea is to be able to have horses on the property sometime in the next 5 years. All right, so to that end, this truck needs a lot of work. And we're going to jump into it actually with a job that I'm a little bit scared to take on. So when we first got the truck, it billowed smoke. And what's weird is it didn't do it the first time when we test drove it. And then after we money had changed hands and we were taking the truck, started it up and smoke just poured out of it. The previous owner said that it was because he had put stuff in the engine to clean it. Now, seafoam can do that, but further exploration led me to believe that that wasn't quite the case. So what I had to do first on this truck was to replace the valve covers and the PCV valve. And the driver's side was actually pretty easy and straightforward. The passenger side, on the other hand, that's what you guys get to watch. So I will see you guys at the end of the video. So when I decided to do this job, I went and watched every last YouTube video that I could find on this subject. And all of those YouTube videos showed changing the valve cover on the driver's side. And then they would say, and if you know how to do the driver's side, then you're totally fine. The passenger side is the same thing. You just have to do the same thing, but on the other side. That is not exactly the case. So, looking at this picture here, the thing circled in red, the black plastic thing on the bottom, that is the valve cover. Now, if you remove or unplug all those wires, and you can move that thing that's labeled in yellow, you can move that right out of the way, no problem. The only thing you can't move is this hard line here. Now that's the driver's side. If you look at the passenger side, you've got a giant trunk of a wire which goes to the fuse box, you've got that hose in the back, and you've got the transmission filler hose. All of those things are things that you can't move. The other thing is you've got the oil filler neck sticking up. And that thing, it seemed like every time I turned around, it kept getting hooked on something or caught on something else. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the battery from the negative from the battery terminal. So cut that loose, take that off. I'm doing that just so that nothing goes wrong. And then I'm going to take off the engine cover. You just want to pull straight up on it and it'll pop out. This side is actually a little bit, the right side of this one is a little bit loose, so it doesn't pop out as easily. I'm going to loosen that clamp, and there's a clamp over here. I'm going to loosen this clamp. Now in the back here, there are two hoses. I think in a normal car or a normal vehicle, these would have clamps on them, but this one doesn't for some reason, which makes me think that this was either done before or that it should have been done before. So now that that's off and this is loose, I can pry this off of here and off of this side also. So that comes off of this is I think the throttle body, taking that off, and then you can kind of wiggle this loose on this side. This is a much tighter fit until we get it going. There we go. And now the air intake hose is out of the way. Alright, so now that we're on the passenger side, we're going to do the same thing we did on the driver's side. And we're going to start off. I'm just going to take this hose off of the PCV valve right here. Use needle-nose pliers, squeeze the clamp, and take this and slide it up so that it goes free.
zip ties on them that hold the wiring harness in place. And those clips have little pins that stick through holes, and you kind of have to get a little wire and so I'm trying to remove the wire circle thread here because it clips on to that thing up there that we inherited green. And the problem is those little clips are stuck in such a way that like you can't bend your wrist in the right way to pinch it. You have to pinch them and shove them.
Alright, so the thing that's giving me a hard time right now is this giant wire right here. Okay, so I got it free there. I'm removing that bracket. And there's another bracket in the back holding it on. So I'm going to go consult YouTube to see what to do about that. Okay, so the ground. Alright, so the wiring harness is, I guess, as loose as I'm going to be able to get it. I don't really know. So next up is to take out the coil packs. And there's 4 of those on this side. So here you can see 3 out of the 4 coil packs. And all you do is pull out that little screw and the whole thing comes right out. See that green, the screw that's circled in green? Yeah, that one's holding a bracket. It's holding that giant wire that I said really didn't move very well. Well, coil pack number 4 is behind that. So, good luck. So once you've got all of those out, you're just going to work your way around the top of the valve cover, taking out all of the screws that hold it on. I started with the ones in the back because I wasn't sure that I'd be able to get them out and put them back in. So I wanted to make sure that I had a way of doing that. So I was fighting to get the valve cover out, and then I realized if you just take out one of these 2 screws and loosen up the other one, you can move the power steering reservoir out of the way. Boom. So after finally getting the valve cover out, I have to clean up the old valve cover gasket, which was part of the problem. The valve cover gaskets were leaking and the PCV valves were clogged. So as a person who doesn't really know anything about cars, this did kind of scare the heck out of me. Because you're looking down and you're seeing the camshaft, and like you can, it's the top end of the engine. And you know, I mean, like there's a part of me at this point that's freaking out, wondering whether or not I can actually get this thing back together. All right, beautiful people. So at this point, I'm really wondering if I screwed up and this truck will never work again. I don't really know. I know that it needs valve covers on both sides. I know that the driver's side was a whole lot easier than the passenger side. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this back in the right way. I don't know if I put the other one in the right way. So, if you want to know if I manage to get this truck running again and there's an oil spraying all over the inside of the engine bay, I guess you're just going to have to come back for the next video. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.